Hey Taurus, welcome to your February reading. Your cards are jumping. That's great. I'm Madeline, if you haven't met before. So, as always, we are going to start by pulling a tarot spread to look at the story of your month, where you are in that story, and how you can make the most of it. And we will close off your reading by pulling a couple cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to weave in a little guidance from your people and your stars. So let's get into it, shall we? I just interrupted myself because Spirit was like, you have to talk about Uranus and Taurus. So the planet Uranus just recently went direct, as in came out of retrograde, went direct in your sign. So it will finally stop, backing up over the course, the corpse of your past self-concept and allow you to come into a little bit more accord with yourself. So if you've been going through a little bit of an identity crisis or a series of shocking or kind of shedding moments, I just want to reassure you that what's on the other side of that is a more authentic expression of who you are and what you really want. And, feeling confused about who we are or what we need or fill in the blank is a precursor to finding out what it is. So if you're still in the I don't know phase, don't demonize that phase. Be present, okay? That's the Taurus superpower, is being really present in your in the moment, in your body, feeling what's happening right now. Default to that. Don't try to get out of any confusion. The confusion is the path to understanding. That's what Spirit is saying. Okay, we're starting off deep, Taurus. Let's go. Let's pull some cards, shall we? Okay, Spirit, we are looking at the month of February for Taurus. Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising, and Dominant Folks. And Spirit, we want to know, what are the themes coming through for Taurian people in the month of February? What do they need to know for their highest good? We want to know the truth, Spirit, about the trajectory of Taurus in the month of February. And we want to guide them to the most fruitful, enjoyable, peaceful, secure, abundant, easeful future. So, Spirit, that is our prayer. What do we need to know about what is showing up for Taurus in the month of February in order to step into that future? Taurus in the month of February. Any elements of the past that are pertinent to the present and the unfolding future? Any helpful or hindering influences around Taurus? Anything they need to know for their highest good? Okay, perfect. Taurus, let's go. Wow. Your first card up jumped out of the deck while I was shuffling, but I was like still chatting with you and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm clocking that, but we're gonna put her back in and see what if they want to show up again. So Spirit is doubling down on some type of partnership, union, exchange. We'll get into it. Let's keep pulling. Beautiful. It feels like you've had to be very strong, is what I want to say, Taurus. Some of you in the face of mourning, difficulty, and that is not the full spectrum of your reading at all, but it's here. And so I kind of want to acknowledge what Spirit was saying at the beginning about Uranus going direct in Taurus, where you don't have any towers in your spread. Praise be. But Uranus has kind of that earth-shaking energy. And you're an earth sign, Uranus and Taurus, that's kind of the language is earth-shaking. And you love to know the order, you love to know the steps. And also, you don't like to be too deep in your feelings. It's like that doesn't necessarily always seem to make sense unless perhaps you have some water moon or water rising, water somewhere in those big three, then you're probably a little more comfortable with that. Okay, let's talk about it. We're going to zoom in. You have a very bright and beautiful reading, but we do need to acknowledge a sense of loss that you might be experiencing. Okay, center of your spread, lovely card, Two of Cups. I feel like there is an examination of some of your connections. Taurus, this is a great time to remind you, these are of course general readings for every Taurus that is tuning into this reading. So I'm an intuitive reader, I'm a medium, I relay what spirit is showing me and kind of whispering to me. And so I'll hear a few different things. If something resonates with you and works and serves you, great. If something else doesn't, I don't want that to give you worry or concern. You just leave that aside knowing, okay, that's for some Taurus rising or moon or somebody else that is listening to this reading, okay? There is an examination of the way that you connect with other people is one of the ways that Spirit is showing me this. Like some of you are like, single and working on what it is to be in a relationship, first with yourself and then with other people. Some of you have been in like this very long-term relationship and it's like, maybe there's like a renewal of vows, maybe there's just a deep reflection or some type of anniversary where it's like, here's your crossing card right on top of that Two of Cups. Look how far we've come. And, for better and for worse, it's like, what is really growing and flourishing and what could use a harvest and a shift? You know what I'm talking about? And what Spirit is saying as I look at this Seven of Pentacles, Taurus, is the earth is nourished by, different minerals and qualities, and growing different plants, growing different types of things puts different types of nutrients into the earth. We talk about biodiversity. And so if you're growing, let it like cabbage, year after year after year after year in the same crop, eventually you will leach all of what the cabbage needed out of that soil, right? And because there's not this natural, seasonal, the way that it used to be before humans came in and said, we know how to do agriculture, and it's monoculture. It's here's the corn and here's the cabbage and here's the this and here's the that, instead of, oh, you know what, the beans really like to be with the herbs and the way it used to be, a little more natural, a little more diverse. There's a need to notice where change is like just needed. It's like, you know what, maybe our sex life, it has gotten a little stale. So we need to dig up something and compost it and try something new, plant something new. You know what I'm talking about? I know that's very personal. That is not for everyone. For some, it's something like that. For others, it's like, oh, we barely talk anymore. Maybe the sex life is thriving, but it's like, oh, we haven't connected. What are you even into anymore? Or etc. And some of you, again, that are single, it is thinking about the connection with oneself. How do I connect with others, and do I want to connect with others, and what part of me wants to share? The Two of Cups can also represent business and creative partnerships. So you may be in either those early stages or reflecting on the partnership and like, is this working? What's working and what's not? Sitting in the basement of your reading, great card, Six of Wands, feeling proud, being witnessed and celebrated for the gifts that you have. But again, I feel that that being in the basement kind of feels like, it's kind of like, yeah, I know, thanks, and almost moving past it a little bit stoically. I'm curious how many of you are understanding what I'm talking about, and if you would be interested in sharing a reflection, a story, anything. I'm always like, when I'm giving these readings, because Spirit is talking, it's like, huh? It feels like some of you have had to be very stoic, and it's almost like moving the goalpost, or like, yes, that's fine, that's great, that's not enough. You know what I'm talking about? Like, whether it's your career or how you're doing in supporting like your loved ones or your family, it's like, yeah, that's not good enough. And I just want to tell you I want to say that you have support around you. And I know that you know that. People that love you, people that want to tenderly take care of your feelings, even if you're in a little bit of a Queen of Swords space of like, I'm okay. That's what it feels like. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a little bit of like defensive okayness. Um, and again, we're not going to demonize that. We're not going to demonize the any kind of like stiffness you might feel around receiving support or recognition or appreciation, or tenderness. That's what I'm kind of feeling like. Um, that there's this desire to bring you tenderness, and there's a little bit of defensiveness. Uh, the fear of vulnerability, you know? And that is perfectly natural and normal. And it's okay to admit when you are hurting. It's okay to admit when something in your life has gone or gone wrong and you hang your head. It's a normal, natural thing. And as I feel like life can move in the direction where it's like, okay, yeah, that happened, but it's okay, buck up and it's all going to get better. It's all going to get better, and buck up can't come until after you have emptied the ocean of your tears. You know what I'm talking about, Taurus? Like, again, I know this is quite deep and quite emotional for a reading for a Taurus, but, for those of you that are still with me, we have to feel things before we can heal things. Forgive the Dr. Seussianness of it all. We can't put a manhole cover over that happened. Well, now I need to move on. That's kind of that Queen of Swords defensiveness. It's like, yeah, that was tragic, but we must soldier on. It's an adaptive coping mechanism, and there can become a point where it becomes a maladaptive coping mechanism where you feel lonely behind a shield, and other people so respect your prowess on the battlefield and your sword and shield that they're like, fuck, I'm not going to fuck with Taurus. I'll let Taurus let me know if they need something. And then you might that can end up being like a circular, cyclical thing where you end up feeling lonely. And the strong friend syndrome. A lot of us earth sign people can experience the strong friend syndrome, where it's like, you think I'm fine because I'm not crying or posting on Facebook about what a hard time it is, like some other people do. And no shade to nobody, literally. It's just we're all different, and we all um, process or don't process, as the case may be, things differently. So your feelings need to be felt. Um, my love and my condolences to those Taurians who are experiencing a loss and processing a loss. I will point out, because it is my tarot readerly duty, that there are still beautiful, upright cups in your life. And I don't feel like I need to belabor that, Taurus. It's like, here are the friends, the family, the loved ones, the hobbies, the passions, the pets, etc., that remain in my life and that are so wonderful, and the things that make life worth living and loving. Um, and eventually, Taurus, when you have felt these feelings and sat with them and allowed them to flow through you, which is their nature, because we can try to stuff them down, and that's when we experience dis-ease of various kinds, right? Whether emotional, psychological, mental, and all the way to the physical, where it's like, oh, I'm shoving down my feelings and now I have gastrointestinal distress. You know what I'm talking about? And they're saying that very specifically, so that's for somebody. um but if you purposefully, make an appointment with your feelings, like, okay, it's clear from some of the things that I'm experiencing that I still haven't processed this betrayal or this ending or this death or this whatever. So, maybe every Sunday morning for the next however long it takes, I'm going to make a 30-minute appointment to sit and think about and process and, maybe write about or talk to my phone to talk out my thoughts instead. I'm going to dialogue in some way about this to process it. To, Spirit is showing me like a rock tumbler. You take something that is raw and has sharp edges, and you put it in a rock tumbler, and that thing tumbles it until it is polished and it comes out without all those sharp edges, where you can actually handle it and admire its beauty. So Spirit is saying that is what's needing to be happening with like these emotions. The beauty and the medicine, the antidote for the venom, will show up as you process and be with the feelings. And it's hard. We can't pretend. And I won't pretend. That's not what I'm here to fucking do. We can't pretend that the Five of Cups isn't difficult. It is heartache and break. And in the energy around and available to you, new and more and old love. Six of Cups is nostalgia, it's wistfulness, it's children, it's soulmates. You know, it's people who have either been with you since you were so young that it feels like they're family, or they may be family literal, or it's those people that you meet maybe way later in life, but it's like you click from the first moment and you know that that's a soulmate. And just a quick, like, distinction or clarification that soulmate can be romantic, but we're not talking about just that. Two of Cups at the center of your spread may indicate, yeah, like this could definitely be pointing to reunions of the romantic variety, or like I said, like a renewal of vows, or etc., or like the refreshing of a relationship. And soulmates can be friends, soulmates can be family members, people that it's just like you and me. We vibe, we get each other. You're there for me, I'm there for you. We help each other grow, etc., etc. Those people are all around you and waiting and wanting to give to you. So please tap in. Sitting in the past, Two of Pentacles, you've been making some beneficial adjustments to your financial life, is like just a very mundane, straightforward thing that Spirit is saying. And that theme is kind of continued in the Seven of Pentacles as your crossing card of like kind of an energetic and resource inventory. What's working? Make a little adjustment. What's not working? Make a little adjustment. Just a little adjustment. Not these big all or nothing, now or never, always. No. Let's try this. See how that goes. Okay, let's try that. See how that goes. Gently. Pardon me. Sitting in the future. Your card. Taurus. The Hierophant. Clarified by the Knight of Wands. I don't know a single Taurus that does not have a strong investment in how do I say this? What I want to say is like their place in the career hierarchy. You know, Hierophant, hierarchy. So gimme. I feel that there is a resurgence of passion around making it up and through like the steps or the gates or the certifications. Like, when I look at the Hierophant, I see a Taurus in their element. And when I see the Knight of Wands, especially coming after seeing the Six of Wands in the basement, it's like we're going to have the experience and the reflection in the external world back to us that we're really fucking good at what we do, and that when we set our mind on something, we can get it. Because a Taurus is nothing if not, I will fucking get there and no one will stop me. You know, you can time me, but that's not going to be the best measure of my success. The measure of my success will be in the product and the outcome, and everyone will be able to see it. That's what Spirit is saying. But what makes me most excited is it looks like you are excited about it. It looks like you are passionate about making a change. So again, if Spirit is bringing it back to Uranus going direct in Taurus, where it's like, if you have been waiting, if you are one of the Taurians who hasn't yet been activated into, okay, I do know what to do, and this is what I want to do, or this is how I want to change, it's coming. So don't worry and don't demonize any lulls or any confusion. Be with them the same way Spirit was talking about. Be with your emotions, because that's actually ultimately, ironically, it can feel ironic. Being with the emotions is what lets them move. Being with the restlessness and the confusion is what shapes it into epiphany, understanding, clarity. Okay? Okay. I'm in the key position. 2 cards to match your Queen of Swords, Taurus. Again, what Spirit just wants me to share with you about these people is these are other supporters in your life. The King of Wands is, you know, King and Queen, nothing to do with sex and gender. You can be a male queen, a female king, non-binary icon of any kind. It's all about expression and personality type. The King of Wands is someone who you feel like is deeply reliable. You would follow them, you know, like they shine a light, they are warm, they are supportive, they are charismatic, they're a natural leader. I feel like you really appreciate this person. If you don't know who this person is, again, this I feel like this is someone already present in your life. And their warmth, their leadership, and I don't know why I keep hearing that, really supports you in your growth. And then you've got this Queen of Cups, who is a person of a much kind of, if this is a very fierce, but warmly fierce leader, the Queen of Cups is very soft, very sweet, very receptive. And she can help you if you should want any help processing your feelings, replenishing some of your cups that may feel a little bit empty or a little bit untended. So I just want to underline that all of the shifts that you're making, you have support and a feeling of reignition is on its way. A feeling of knowing where it is that you want to be in the hierarchy, in the, in the what your role on the world stage is. I'll say it like that. Okay. Now, to cap off your reading, Taurus, let's pull a couple of star codes. You in the month of February. Wow. Already. But okay, one more, please, Spirit, for Taurus in the month of February. That's really incredible. That's really incredible. I know, y'all, anybody that has watched me for like a long time is probably like, girl, we know you never stop being excited about it. It never ceases to amaze you, etc., etc. But it does. It never ceases to amaze me. So, first card up in the Astro Oracle deck, 7th house, relationship. Your second card up, 6th house, sustainability. Relationship sustainability. Making adjustments as necessary to bring things into balance. 7th house is about balance. 7th house is the Libra house, the relationship house. Bringing things into balance. Your efforts to figure out what is sustainable and good for you are working extremely well. Please just do not defend yourself from the help or assistance or support that is going to help you get all the way to that reignition. Bring more passion into your life. That is what is on its way. How's that feel, Taurus? How's that sit with you? You got stories, you got questions, you got reflections? Let me know. Just south of this video is the place to put that, as well is the place where you can get a personal reading if you would ever like to. I'm at MadelineTheVillageWitch.com. All my socials are in that box. I appreciate you being here, Taurus, and I hope the time you invested pays for itself many times over. And until next time, bye-bye.